Tom Gozlowski here with you on 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com, joined by Andrew Williams as well. And joining us on the phone lines is one of our favorites, legendary sports handicapper. Make sure to check out his stuff on BrandonLang.com. Brandon Lang joins us. And Brandon, big news this week. Fantasy Daily Sports gets deemed illegal in New York State. What type of impact is that going to have around the country?
It's funny you bring that up because yesterday's New York Daily News, you could see my mug in there and a nice little article about my take on exactly what's going on. And, listen, this AG has the ability to sue a ham sandwich for being Jewish if he wants to. That's kind of our first problem. So if he wants to go after someone, he has the power behind to do so. I got to believe that with the millions of dollars that your hedge funders have invested in FanDuel and DraftKings, that they did their due diligence. And I think with everything comes to fruition here, they're going to be okay. If not, didn't we learn our lesson with the offshore sports books that took their America didn't get behind it, so they went offshore Costa Rica, and they made the billions of dollars in America sitting here holding an egg in the palm of their hand. So let's get behind this. Let's tax it. Let's embrace it. It most certainly has boosted my business. And I think it can only add to legalizing sports betting, which it seems to be okay in Europe. I've lobbied for years that we're so behind the times in legalizing gambling in America. Correct me if I'm wrong. We can legalize marijuana, but we can't legalize gambling.
Right.
We're so behind the times, it's unbelievable. So they'll be fine, I believe, but if not, some European company is going to grab them up and make billions with it as well.
Wow.
And Brandon, how much is this changing, though, like what you do, the handicapping game?
Believe it or not, if a guy's never bet a game in his life, and then he starts playing fantasy football for the first time in his life, a lot of them will segue over to betting games. It's one feeds the other. It's the action. You got a certain player involved, but I have two players going with this team. Let me go ahead and take them plus 6.5 too. And we've seen a boost in BrandonLang.com, again, because of the fantasy football. So it can only help. One hand feeds the other. I don't mind the assist at all. I'll knock down the jumper. If FanDuel and DraftKings hits me in the corner for the spot up 3, I'll knock it down. And, more the merrier.
Joining us on the phone lines, legendary sports handicapper Brandon Lang. We're going to get to some of his picks and some of the games he's eyeing up this week later on. But first, Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States, was here in Central New York earlier this week, and Brandon's known to rub shoulders with some big-time celebrities and politicians, and now Joe Biden's not going to run for the president, but he has caddied before the former president, Bill Clinton. Tell us a little bit about that interaction you had with President Bill Clinton.
One of the greatest caddy stories ever, late 90s, Riviera Country Club. Dan was writing the script. I'm deciding to just stay in L.A. and live the caddy lifestyle, and the Jordans, the Gretzkys, the Jack Nicholsons, the Tom Cruise, the Mark Wahlbergs. I mean, it's just every day people are rolling through. And so the first part of this story that I tell that's amazing is Bert Ford, who was an old African-American caddy, would sometimes sleep in the caddy shacks. When we arrived on that Thursday morning, I said, Bert, did anybody come down and sweep the lockers and sweep the caddy shack? He goes, nope, nobody came in here, Cap. So I'm like, okay, so there's no security there. I never filled out an application. They never asked me for my Social Security number. So I got assigned to Clinton because I was next up on the list. There was no VIP caddy the day before. It was who's next on the list. So it was me and a Latin caddy named Jose Luis. So we just got a phone call in the caddy shack say, hey, come on up, you got the president. So when I walked up the hill, because Riviera, number one's an elevated par 5, the caddy shack's the lower part of the fairway, you got to walk up a hill. When I turned that corner, there was 40 Secret Service and full camouflage gear and scope rifles. Like, it was incredible. And I saw President Clinton, and I walked right up to him. Nobody searched me. Nobody patted me down. Nobody gave me I'm in my white caddy jumpsuit. I walked right up to him. I shook his hand and said, hey, Mr. President, I'm Brandon. I'll be your caddy today. Pipe went down the middle of the fairway for me. He says, I'll do my best in his Arkansas draw. Grabbed 2 putters, him and his brother, and walked down the first fairway. And as I'm walking back down the hill, I go, wow, how easy would that have been to have a gun in just boom. No, I was never, ever searched by anyone. And I just remember thinking that the whole round. And understand this, he'll never be Bill Clinton to me. He'll never be President Clinton to me. He'll be 4-ball Billy, because that son of a gun hits 4 balls every single hole. And if you're on the tee box, you got to pick up all 4 of those balls and get to the ball he's going to play in the middle before he gets to it. because he's ready to hit. And if he hits his shot from the fairway and he doesn't like it left, he'll hit another one right. And so you got to sprint up and get those and get on the green and have his putter waiting for him. I must have ran a marathon that day for him. He cheats like a fool, super nice guy. And another part of the story was every hole there were two Secret Service men. So we're playing the first hole. There's two in the fairway, two on the first green, two on the 2 tee box, two on the 2 fairway, two on the 2 green, two on the 3 tee, two on the 3 fairway. Behind us, there were two on the 17 green, two on the 18 tee box. So they were in front and behind. And as a convoy, we moved through the golf course. So I had the same two Secret Service guys in the fairway when I went to Fort Caddy for the whole round. And these guys, you couldn't get them to smile. Well, it was my goal to break them down before the end of the round. So I would sit there with my back to them like, what's up, guys? What's happening? Hey, guys, let me ask you a question, man. Now, listen, I'm not looking at them. I'm just talking. They're sitting there with their sunglasses on, Tom Cruise, Top Gun, and they're not saying a word. I'm like, hey, guys, just answer me one question. You guys couldn't have smuggled some penthouse playmates and pets and porn stars through those tunnels? Monica Lewinsky? Come on, fellas. Man. We can't do better than that. And then I would leave them alone. And then like 2 fairways later, I'd say, guys, you got to tell me. He's a freak, ain't he? I mean, listen, he's a stone cold freak, right? We've had the strippers and stuff, and I can see it's getting to him. By the 14th fairway, I finally broke them down, and they laughed. And then the 15th fairway, they go, what's your Social Security number? I'm like, yeah, why? So you throw me in a Turkish jail? Forget that, man. End of the round, they both gave me their business card, told me to come see them in Washington. They'd show me a great weekend. I gave them a great sushi place to go to, and I don't have many regrets in life. But one is the fact that I didn't stay in touch with those guys and go see them because of the stories and everything. But it was a tremendous day with the president. On the 18th hole, he's got a 4-footer for par, legitimate par. And he goes, all right, Brand, I got to make this. And I bend down over him. I know I got the red scope on me, the dot on me. It was on me all day. Now, back of my mind, I give him a bad read here. I'm going to take one in the chest. I better read this right. So it was a pretty incredible day.
Legendary sports handicapper, legendary caddy. He's got the great stories. Brandon Lang joins us. Make sure to check out his great work on BrandonLang.com.
All right, Brandon, let's pull the curtain back of BrandonLang.com. What are your best picks for this weekend?
Well, first and foremost, we last Saturday we hit our 4th straight 70-dimer with Oklahoma State over TCU. Sunday, 3rd straight 100-dimer with Carolina over Green Bay. We've won 4 straight Sundays, won every Saturday but 2. It's been an unbelievable run, guys. We call it Langer the Banger on a heater. $10 bettors up about $15,000 last 2 years. So I had somebody say I'm living the first hour of the movie the last 2 years. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, it has been like that. The hooker just left. Chino's paying the hooker in front of Renee Russo. She just walked out the door. So the first hour of the movie's great. Looking to keep it going this weekend. 2 college games I really like. LSU seems to take a lot out of Alabama. Alabama 0-5 against the spread, their last 5 after playing LSU. People tend to forget. Mississippi State's a missed 37-yard field goal from beating LSU in Mississippi State and being undefeated and literally being in the top 4. So you're giving me 8. I'll go with Dak Prescott and this Mississippi State team. I think people are going to be surprised at how under the radar they've been all year, and I think they're going to give Alabama some fits. And also, I'll tell you what, guys, I touted Navy last week plus the points over Memphis. I said, listen, if you've never defended the triple option, it's the first time head coach Fuentes had ever seen it. It's unbelievable. It's a nightmare. Now that Navy won the game outright, Memphis is getting 7 at Houston. Keep an eye on Memphis to bounce back this week plus the points.
And, of course, that movie he references, 2 for the Money. Make sure you get a chance to check that out. BrandonLang.com. Brandon Lang. Brandon, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. We're going to have you on again real soon to tell some more great stories. We love it as always. Take care and best of luck this weekend.
Guys, absolutely. One quick NFL stat for your listeners out there on the Arizona-Seattle game Sunday night. Bruce Arians has been an underdog of 7 points or less 16 times in his career. He's 15-1 against the spread. There you go, boys.
Wow, there you go. Thanks, Brandon. Take care, man.
Bye, guys.